Hey, welcome back into today's video. The YouTuber we're going to be talking about in this video is 100% pure evil by definition. Of course, we're talking about Illuminaughtii. They've displayed a pattern of behavior, lying and spreading dishonesty about other creators, talking to themselves in all accounts, and even exposing personal DMs about another creator wanting to end his life to her millions of subscribers. Her ex-boyfriend released recorded audio, and I don't think many people know about it. I'll also be talking about a personal experience. Now, this is definitely up there amongst the worst human beings I've talked about on this channel in today's episode of Exploring YouTubers. If you're unfamiliar, Illuminaughtii is a YouTuber with currently over 1.49 million subscribers. But she's losing tens of thousands every week, with a losing weekly average of negative 28,000. One of the ironic things is the content that she makes exposes companies for bad, hypocritical, and just awful types of things. She's a self-proclaimed pyramid against pyramid schemes. There's currently so much information out about Illuminaughtii. If you put her name in the YouTube search, literally everyone is talking about her. And I've had a lot of people suggest this topic to me, and if you've watched any of the videos about her, you've likely seen some of my tweets. And I figured the best thing for me to do is to start my video out talking about a weird personal experience I had with her back in around 2019. So for this video, I'll be calling Illuminaughtii Blair because, well, that's her name and it's a lot shorter. February 9th, 2021, I tweeted, apparently some YouTuber named Illuminaughtii blocked me because I follow Tommy, Nick Diorio, and Tipster on Twitter. I've never spoken to this person once, and now I'm going to see what all this is about. And why are so many people mad at her? Now, as a YouTuber, I have a type of spidey sense where I can kind of feel like, well, something's weird here. One user commented, I'm not mad at her. She produces good content. And if she feels the need to block people affiliated, that's her right to do so. I said, well, I mean, I didn't do anything to her. I don't even know who she was. This is the Streisand effect in real time. And if you don't know what the Streisand effect is, the Streisand effect is an unintended consequence of attempts to hide, remove, or censor information where it intends to lead to increased awareness of that information. Now, obviously, anybody can block anyone for any reason that they want. However, it's kind of weird when a creator is blocking people that she doesn't know, for the sole reason of maybe they followed a creator that the person doesn't like, or maybe they commented under a public thread that this creator they don't like happened to also comment under. Now, I did find out I wasn't the only one that was blocked by association, and Blair was actually blocking a lot of people and even kicking her own viewers from her Discord server. Hey Cosmos, so a couple of things have come to my mod's attention. I love my server and I care deeply for the people within it, and those who threaten the safety of my server and fans are not people I want in my server. With that being said, you are aware of a previous situation caused by those people we have seen you openly associating with, and because of that, we are going to have to let you go. We wish you the best of luck and we'll miss you. Goodbye, Cosmo. This is a sad farewell. To which Cosmo or Vim Poofin said, I never endorsed anything Nick said about you, as you've proven your side to me previously, and I purposely went past the bogus attention she was making. I respect your decision. To which Blair says, choosing your circle of friends is an endorsement. This is me saying I don't have that kind of behavior in my circles, which is absolutely ironic, honestly. She says, I'll miss you. Vim Puffin says, let me explain myself. Sure. So I assume you want to know why I followed and pinged him on Twitter. I was following him way before the whole BS of him trying to bash you on Twitter for BS reasons, since you've only shown kindness to me and I'm forever thankful for it. I am not his friend at all. The only reason I follow him is to see developments and drama on YouTube. The reason I pinged him is that he and a few others I pinged gave me an idea of the type of commentary I think I could do. So no, he and I are not friends. I even went on your ex's channel and called him petty due to the unfounded allegations he had against you. So besides me following Nick for recent drama, I have nothing to do with him. If it helps you in any way, I'll block him on Twitter and delete the tweet I made yesterday. Blair says, Cosmo, we've seen you commenting on videos, replying to tweets, etc., etc. So I'm sorry, but it stands. I wish you the best of luck. Honestly, this is some freaky behavior. There are billions of people in the world, and not everyone's gonna like you. And sure, I can completely understand why you'd want to block those few people. But going out of your way to block everyone that might have interacted with someone's tweet that you don't like is worse than obsessive. But the reason that she was doing this is even more bizarre. Scentbird is supporting this channel by sponsoring this video. So I'm like really excited that Scentbird decided to sponsor the channel again. And additionally, I'm really proud that you guys like the sponsorship so much that it performed well and they wanted to work with us again. That's awesome. And as you already know, Scentbird lets you pick new designer fragrances each month for only $17. Just go to their website and select perfumes or colognes. You can select from new arrivals, best sellers, or go to all brands. There is a large collection of colognes and perfumes on this website. And as you already know, my favorite cologne is Versace Dylan Blue, which I did get from this website. And honestly, it saves you a lot of money. I don't know about you, but I've bought some colognes that I thought I liked, but they did not mix well. Comes in this packaging right here, and you get 3 cards that explain and break down what is in the colognes that make them smell the way that they do. The first one I'm gonna try is African Rooibos by Chris Collins. Here's the scent breakdown. Remember, just twist to unlock. I like this, I think I do. But it's okay if I don't, because I got 2 more samples and I don't have to purchase a $100 bottle, thank God. Yesterday by Room 1015. Here's the breakdown. Heltane Parfums de Marly Paris. There's the breakdown. And I usually stretch mine out for over 30 days. Course of action is to use code Repzilla55 to get 55% off of your purchase, making that around about $7 for your first month. Just like last time, I want to know what fragrances you select, so let me know. And again, thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring our video again. That's awesome. We have to go back to July 4th, 2019 in a video by Tommy C titled Illuminaughtii Deleted My Videos Over a Fat Joke. See, Blair actually used to work with Tommy. They were friends at one point.
Sarah J. Warren is unapologetically feminist, and if they don't like it, then I would love to drink their overprivileged male tears, okay?
At one point, Tommy gave Blair admin access to one of his channels, where they did a news segment type content together. Blair got mad at Tommy over a fat joke, to which Tommy didn't even say.
This actually has nothing to do with me or Blair. This has something to do with, and it says, you know, Illuminaughtii deleted my videos over a fat joke. I didn't even tell the fat joke. Like, I have literally nothing to do with this. And it was actually one of my staff members. She had met up with Real Talk and some fans of mine and fans of hers too. I'm not going to sit there and, you know, obviously she got 100,000 subs for a reason. And they met in Las Vegas. Her, one of my news team guys, Rico at the time, and they wanted to put me in a room. Real Talk was there and thank me. And so how they did it is we all went into the news chat room where all the other members were, and you know, we kind of said hello, and I guess Rico said it, and for reasons that I'm not quite sure to this day, the vault kept repeating over and over again, "God, Rico, you're fat." And then that was kind of uncomfortable and funny, and Real Talk cackled as loud as he could. And then like 5 minutes would pass, he would go, "Jesus, Rico, you're really, really fat." And it was, I gotta be honest with you, it was kind of uncomfortable, you know, but it was funny, you know, it was funny. And he kept saying, I don't remember if I told him. I definitely said something afterwards, like, "Jesus, what's the matter with you?" Rico had gone out of his way to kind of express to me and a lot of other people he was Brad Pitt, you know, and he would show us pictures of himself like clearly 10 years ago, right?
So Blair's friend Rico was saying that he was not as big as he was, and then someone on Tommy's team named Vault called him fat a couple times and it became a meme. You can even see some of the donos on the stream are memeing on Rico. One of the ironic things is that Rico would actually make fun of Tipster for being fat.
And he was about as little smaller than Tipster. And I'm not kidding. And that's the funny part, because Rico came up with the hamburger meme for Tipster and had been, which I don't care. Believe me, I don't care if he tortures Tipster, you know. So, and I don't care at all. I made a t-shirt with Tipster's fat hamburger face. In fact, well, it was his concept. Come to think of it.
Interestingly enough, not only was Rico making fun of Tipster for being fat and then was upset that somebody else called him fat, even though that these dudes all kind of joke amongst each other anyways, but Blair also made fun of Tipster, his mental health, and him being fat.
Again, this is a group of people who make wisecracks about people and each other all the time, and it's never been an issue until this particular instance, right? Keep in mind, I think I say this in the clip that I'm gonna play for you guys. Well, I wasn't offended by this. In fact, when I saw it, I actually thought it was kind of funny. Just like with the hamburger meme, I wasn't offended by it. I thought it was funny. But still, it seems kind of weird, doesn't it? Seems a little bit hypocritical to be perfectly fine with making fun of somebody's mental health, but the moment you make a fat joke about someone on the team, suddenly it's a problem.
As many of you know, I am a longtime sufferer of anxiety and depression. It's an ongoing struggle that I often deal with.
I do. I don't.
And one of my main outlets for dealing with it is YouTube. I love making videos and hosting live streams for my audience. It's become my primary escape when overcoming the struggles of life.
My opinion is that this is super petty drama, and Blair tried to control Tommy, and Tommy wasn't going to have it.
And then this happened. I got this message from her after I did a stream, and I think Vault posted a Rico meme on and things. And this video is important up here, and I'm going to show it to you now. One of my goofy friends, or probably somebody that donates a lot, is aware of this situation. Somebody in the moon base. I'm not quite sure who it is. And they sent me this donation while I was playing Rocket League.
That's a lot of money.
And by the way, like this, Blair sent this to me as an example on why she was leaving.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
Better watch your back. Keep your people in control. Better YouTuber. Yeah, f you. I'll do what I want. Rico.
So the whole thing was kind of on my mind. I mean, I got her telling me what I can and can't do, and
this was the day after I got kicked from my server.
That wasn't Rico, obviously. That was somebody trying to get me going, and that's all I said. I could talk about whatever the I want to talk about, like whatever the I want to talk about, and I don't appreciate being told just because you have 100K what I can and can't do. I have eaten people your size and bigger for breakfast, and it's like I don't appreciate people telling me what I can and can't do, and I wouldn't have been involved in it at all had or even made that comment had you been so concerned about people make things you can't you can't control, and you can't control people being made fun of on the internet, and no matter how hard you try, and you certainly can't tell me. Here's my thing, straighten out yourself. So that's the thing that pissed her off. My crack on my arcade. I think you know where this is going. It was great working with you. But we're clearly going two different directions. I wish you nothing but the best for your new Sims family. I wrote, I was like, okay, I know now. And I was like, relieved. And I go and check the news thing, and she left. I was like, oh, God, thank God she didn't delete anything. And then I found out she did like 24 hours later.
So there you go. There's a situation involving Tommy and Tipster that make her look really bad. The only one we're missing is Nick Diorio. Well, that's next. Now, if you thought the other stuff was hypocritical and petty, you're not going to believe this. 4 days after Tommy's stream, July 8th, 2019, Nick made a video. It's currently titled, Bet Illuminaughtii Won't Strike This Twice. The video was false striked, and at the time, no one knew who it was. Now, it's important to note that Nick's video was satire, and it was only just poking fun at Illuminaughtii for the fallout of the Tommy and Tipster situation. But she did not like that, and the level of which she went to try to take this video down. So how she actually did this is extremely manipulative. Nick's original thumbnail had fan art of Blair. Blair, not wanting to get her own hands dirty, because false strikes are frowned upon, reached out. Well, she searched the entire internet because, us YouTubers, we have a lot of fan art from a lot of different people. So she searched the whole internet, found the person that made the fan art for Nick's thumbnail. She said to the artist, hey, I just wanted to reach out and let you know that there's a hate channel that just used your fan art you made for me as their thumbnail. I don't know if you gave them permission to use that, but if not, I just want to let you know so you could protect your work. They replied, hey, thank you so much for letting me know about this. No, I did not grant them permission to use my artwork, especially not as a thumbnail to lure people in with. Send me a link to them or tell me their name so I can take care of it. Again, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I apologize for it causing an issue for you as well. Plus, I'm sorry I responded so early in the morning. So she effectively manipulated one of her fans into abusing the copyright system on YouTube. Nick actually reached out to this artist and found out. Nick then asked the artist if he removed the thumbnail with their fan art in it, if he could get his video back, to which they agreed. But then Blair reached out to another person in attempts to false strike Nick's video a second time. iilluminaughtii posted Nick's video saying, your vlog is used a lot in here, enjoy. To which that person says, I don't care. This is crazy to think about, but again, there are so many people that make fan art for YouTubers. So she would have had to search the entire internet to find the specific one. And then she searched through Nick's entire video to find another person that she could get a hold of to try to manipulate them into doing this. In fact, there is actually evidence that she pays people to search up dirt on people. So obviously there's something wrong with iilluminaughtii, and this was exactly why she was blocking anybody that had any association at all with Tommy, Tipster, and Nick, because she didn't want people to know about these situations, and she sure didn't want new viewers to find out about it. Back around February 12th of 2021, there was a situation with another YouTuber named Cruel World Happy Mind who actually covers similar content as Blair. This YouTuber's name is Madison, so I'm going to call her Madison for this video. And when she was a younger YouTuber, around 20,000 subscribers, she had several viewers reach out to her about a bigger YouTuber who seemed to have a very similar video as her. One comment saying, noticed that iilluminaughtii uploaded a similar video today or a couple of days ago, and I haven't watched it but glanced over their sources and I feel it's oddly similar to your content. Not sure if it's just a coincidence, but don't want your hard work to be copied and exposed to a wider audience to get more views, revenue. Sorry if this comes across abrasive or not well researched enough on my part. Just something I noticed and was like, Tyra Beauty, Goop, etc. sounds familiar, and similar order of content as well. Obviously this was concerning to Madison, so she decided to send a friendly DM to Blair. Whew, that was a mistake. Hey hun, sorry I had to. I don't know if you know my channel. I'm a really small YouTuber who has been really inspired by the content you make. I got a few messages about the video you posted about Tyra's MLM because I've done a video on that topic. I'm really happy to see you spreading more awareness on this topic, but I did low-key feel like a lot of what was said in the beginning of the video was really similar to the things I discussed regarding Tyra's MLM and her controversies, the rabies bit, etc. Coincidences happen, and I'm sure as a larger YouTuber you are accused of stealing content from people you've never even heard of or seen before. So I get it if this message comes across that way. With the intention of just being open and honest, I was really hurt by the video though, because you're someone who has really inspired me in the content I make, so I wanted to reach out and hopefully have an honest but positive discussion on it all. Either way, I still appreciate the work you do. Well, this was probably the worst possible thing that you could send someone like Blair. She actually went on a podcast called The Double Cleanse and lied several times, creating false narratives.
I recently learned, apparently, as there is this whole anti-MLM community, right? I kind of thought I was on my own little island doing my own thing. Maybe that's my own ego. I don't watch their anti-MLM videos because I don't want to know what other people are saying or other people think. I don't want it influencing what I do. So I purposely like have terms like that blocked from my YouTube search stuff. I don't want to see it, and it's not out of I don't know, any rudeness, meanness, whatever. No, I can't care, and that kind of stuff can't influence me. What I did have happen though recently, which this is I'm gonna try and keep it vague so I don't mention this person's channel. But it's a very small YouTuber, and she DM'd me on Instagram claiming that I copied her.
You got that.
And okay, she claimed that I copied her video that she had done maybe a couple weeks ago, right? And the video that I had done the topic on was suggested to me multiple times from my comment section. So I just listened to my comments and I made a video because that's what people were interested in my opinion on. So she messages me and she goes, "I'm just really disappointed because you're someone I look up to and you copied my video and I want credit."
First off, we read the DM. There were absolutely no accusations of copying or anything about her requesting credit.
So I didn't know who this person was. So I went to my moderators in my Discord server and I was like, "Hey," I screenshotted the message. I sent it to them and I said, "Do you know, is this a YouTuber? Can you guys like tell me who this is or what they're even talking about?" Because I had no idea. They come back to me. It's this small channel. I'll just say less than 50,000 subscribers at the time. And she sources me. She uses me as a source in her videos, for one. So I found it kind of funny. And she... That was the point. I was like, you can't claim that I'm copying you when you use me as a source, honey.
Exactly.
But she sources me, and then obviously the first thing I did before even looking at her videos is I went to look at her sourcing list because I think that's really important. Is what do you use? And she had 5 sources. You know, I have to use a pastebin document because I have anywhere 30 to 70 sources per video. I don't play around. But she had like 5 sources. You know, one was Wikipedia, one was BuzzFeed, one was like TMZ or something.
Oh my god. The most, you know, oh god.
And those sources are okay for a reference on certain things. Like I use Wikipedia as a starting point because Wikipedia will generally give you an outline of where you should start looking. But those were her sources. And then she sits down for a video, maybe 30, 40 minutes long, drinks a coffee, is distracted the whole time, and just gives her opinion on how she feels about things. And I said, you cannot believe for 1 second, ma'am, that I am copying you. You are giving an opinion. I don't do that. And she even admitted, well, kind of, that she was restructuring her channel to kind of mock my own channel. So I was like, so you're taking my formula.
And Madison made a response video, and well, here's a clip from it.
Months and months ago, in June, a larger creator posted a video, and I, out of the blue, started getting a ton of messages from people saying that this creator copied my video, saying they made a ton of similar points.
So what ended up happening is I just remember one day seeing this comment, I'll put it up on the screen here, where someone was telling me they thought another creator like copied my video that I did. And I was like freaked out, and I got a few other comments like that. So I was like, oh, this person thinks this creator copied my video. That's really weird.
And me at the time, I don't even think I had 20,000 subscribers. So getting messages like that freaked me out, because this creator had 600,000 subscribers and I had less than 20. And to hear so many people say the same thing about a situation and message me the same thing scared me. I never straight up accused this creator, this larger creator, of copying me. On top of that, something I didn't mention in that video, and that this creator seems to conveniently also leave out of this whole story, at the time that people were messaging me this, there were no sources on this person's video. The only thing it had in the description was, in parentheses, sources coming soon, which is why I think a lot of people assumed that they copied me and didn't give me credit or whatever. I send this larger creator a message. At the time of sending that message, since I was like just a really small creator, I was like, I don't know how to handle this. I felt super awkward. So I was just like, hey, yeah, I'm getting a lot of messages about this, but like, let's talk. The day after I sent this message, I was like, whatever, this is stupid. As I've said in the anti-MLM video I did 4 months ago, as I've always felt, very soon after this incident, people have a right to do a video on a topic you've done. And I watched the video, and while a lot of similar things were said, coincidences do happen when you're researching for something. You can stumble across similar sources. I've made similar points that other YouTubers have made on a topic unknowingly, because sometimes that's just how people's minds work. And there were aspects of this larger creator's video that weren't in my video, and vice versa. So I got over it. It was not a big deal to me. This larger creator never responded. So I was just like, okay, they didn't see, but that's fine, whatever. And for some reason, this message made this larger creator think it's okay to go on a podcast and spread completely false information.
The original video was taken down by Madison, but I found a clip on Tipster's video, which will be in the description if you guys want to watch the rest of this response. He's got a couple really important pertaining clips, so it'll be there. So when Blair saw that Madison actually responded to the lies that she said on the podcast, Blair continued to lie and attack her on her Instagram story.
I get messages that this creator went on their Instagram stories to basically talk crap about me. I don't have screenshots of this larger creator's Instagram story. Believe it or not, after this video, I don't normally go around taking screenshots of everything, so I don't have those screenshots. I have receipts for literally everything else, but that Instagram story was a public story that a lot of people saw, so I'm sure in the comments people can verify that this is what the creator said. They first said, "I can't believe a creator posted a video yesterday accusing me of copying them." Which this is what I said in the video. You don't have ownership of a video topic, and that's something I've learned at this point. And honestly, it's good if someone covers a topic that you've covered, not just from an analytical standpoint, but just because you're spreading the word more. I literally say in the video, even just thinking that there was a possibility this person copied me was stupid. People cover the same topics all the time. It's great. It gets awareness.
Blair actually accused Madison of sub-botting. I mean, like, she was literally going in on this girl, saying anything that she could to discredit her for really absolutely no reason at all. You read the DM. It was one of the nicest things ever. This is just really sad.
And this person makes another Instagram story, and this is where it gets really weird and really shocking. This person makes another Instagram story where they say something along the lines of alluding to the fact that I'm untrustworthy because my profile shows up on a website that's supposedly about buying YouTube bots. Which, first off, a ton of YouTubers' profiles show up on these types of websites. It does not mean that they're buying bots. Also, that's the least discreet way of buying bots, putting your profile on, like, do you think I'm stupid? Like,
at this point, Madison sent Blair another DM, and a super nice DM, even though it's completely obvious at this point that Blair's attacking this person and lying purposely. Hey, I think I need to clear some things up with you. Obviously, you have seen my above message from the time everything took place, and you've seen my recent video. I explained that situation because I found the DMs with the other creator to be bizarre. But if you watch the video, I never accused you of stealing. A few people sent me messages about it and I got scared, but I realized that I literally don't have ownership over a topic, and that's a stupid way to think. Not sure if you watched that part or misinterpreted it, but I'd love to chat it out because though you may believe differently, I really wanted the drama to stop, and I wanted the wrong people to no longer be blamed for all of it when they don't deserve hate. So let's talk. Also, not sure if you're referring to me when talking about sub-botting views, but I really have no idea what you're talking about. Just lately started Googling myself and finding my name in weird places, but please enlighten me on that one. At this point, Blair had not responded to the first or the second message and posted on her Twitter that she was going to do a live stream debunking Madison's video. So Madison sent a third and final DM saying this: "Last time reaching out to you, sorry if my DMs have been annoying. I just feel like there's been a misunderstanding and I didn't realize how offended you were by my message until someone sent me the podcast where you mentioned me. I understand how you'd be frustrated by my DM, but I didn't intend for it to come across in a harsh way. I think the way I acted was ridiculous, and I was listening too much to commenters when they'd tell me someone copied me, etc. I genuinely don't think you copied me. I now know how things work, and I'm sure you just got a lot of requests to cover the same topic. There's never been any beef on my end. I remember hearing somewhere from someone that you live blank, and I just moved to blank because my husband is stationed there. And if you ever would want to chat in person, I'm willing to drive where you are and talk it out. I don't want beef or anyone thinking I hate them." Wow, this girl is such a pure soul. There's no way, though, she could not have. It's pretty obvious that Illuminaughtii was doing these things on purpose. I'm just saying. I guess this was the DM that got through to Blair because they ended up getting into a conversation, and then Blair posted this thread saying, "Just got off the phone after a 3-hour-long conversation with Cruel World Happy Mind, and I am very happy that we were able to finally talk and resolve our issues privately. Ultimately, there was a series of misunderstandings from both sides. We have worked those out to stop the escalation of any drama. She will be removing her part about me in a video she recently did. In return, I will not do the planned live stream on her. We were able to not only work out our problems, but come to a common understanding and even have a great conversation at the end about our research, philosophies, and interpretations on many parts of MLMs, our personal lives, etc. We both want the drama between it to end. There is no ill will here, and we are moving on. I appreciate that we are both able to move on, and maybe once the restrictions in Colorado lighten up, we can hang out one day too. Madison, I appreciate the chat. We needed to have it, and I'm happy that we are on the same page on a vast majority of things. Thank you for coming into the conversation level-headed with me so we could knock this out and move on." My opinion about this is that Madison was absolutely harassed, lied about by Blair. Blair bullied this smaller creator, and it's extremely obvious. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. A YouTuber named FPS Diesel reached out to Madison, and she responded to this situation while looking back on it in hindsight, and some new details that a lot of people aren't talking about. If you want to read this in its entirety, go ahead and pause screen. I'm going to talk about a few things. Madison says, "I was newly pregnant at the time of my interactions with Blair and extremely sick from pregnancy. So that was a huge motivator to reach a solution with Blair so that I wouldn't have the stress of the drama beef making the condition worse. During the call, she says, at times I felt like she was trying to mentor me. At times I felt she wanted me to sympathize with her, and at times she made vague, threatening statements. I concluded during that call it seemed to me like Blair has a tendency to fixate on a few specific people in the commentary world and feel a lot of hate and vitriol towards those people, especially if she felt they wronged her. The entire situation was very stressful at the time since I was in really poor condition and extremely sick from my pregnancy." And then Madison says something that I do completely agree with. "I think toxic people like Blair create a competitive, cutthroat environment in the commentary space on YouTube when it doesn't need to be like that. I've talked with people like Sloan, Smokey Glow, and Mooncat who have been nothing but extremely nice." And I do want to say I've personally spoken with Sloan a few times, and that dude is so nice. He is exactly what I wish other creators were like on the platform, because I'll tell you firsthand experience, people are nasty, cutthroat, they will lie, they will take advantage of your kindness, and you have to be extremely careful. Another thing is, I don't think that Blair wanted to do that live stream because she would have looked like a fool, and it kind of foreshadows the Legal Eagle situation. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, and what happens when Blair takes on a creator her own size. This next situation we're going to be talking about is what a lot of people are contributing to the main thing that took Blair down. And that's Blair versus Legal Eagle. This situation actually started out much like the others that we've talked about in this video. A person reached out to her and asked a normal question. "Hey Blair, I work as an editor for Legal Eagle, and I was wondering if there are some After Effects plugins that you guys use for things like the intro to the NFL video, where the lighter colors appear to stick out in 3D. We could recreate it, but we figured there was probably a faster method you guys were using. Here's the video I'm talking about just so you know what I mean. Thanks, Danny." I've actually received emails like this and actually been part of Twitter groups where me and some other creators have discussed various different editing methods and helped each other out. It's a very common and normal thing. But bless Danny's heart, this wasn't a normal person that he emailed. Blair took this opportunity to post a thread on Twitter accusing Legal Eagle of copying. Not Legal Eagle editors broaching my editors to take my video style, and then when they didn't give up any info, they literally copied it. And by the way, I have the messages from my editors and found an email from them too. Just changed the color from purple to blue, huh? Interesting. So I went through my emails and found this outright saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this, but if you could make it easier for me, I'd appreciate it. Also went to my Discord server to try and get more to cop the style. And to be honest, I wouldn't have believed any of this was trying to replicate my videos if not for the email and the Discord stuff that this was done preemptive to their video coming out. Like, talk about, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but just make it a little different. The examples that she provided for Legal Eagle copying her videos are absolutely ridiculous. Example B, and it's literally just a highlighter on words that literally every YouTuber uses. This is mind-blowing to me because there's actually websites that you can sign up to for a subscription. I personally use Motion Array. I'm going to walk you through how I use it, and it has presets and templates that make editing easier. So here's Motion Array. See, it's got templates, presets, plugins. For example, there's a very popular page rip that Blair uses in her videos. Someone pointed this out. Oh no, better call Motion Array out, huh? And if you go to presets here, go to Adobe Premiere and you type in ripped, look, it's the very similar type of page rip that iilluminaughtii uses in her videos. And I can just simply download it. Wow. And as far as the highlight effect goes, I personally use that in a lot of my videos. And I do it in After Effects just like this. See how easy it is? The point is, much like every other example in this video, Blair is being dishonest and hypocritical. Just like this. One user called her out for plagiarizing a documentary quote in one of her videos. Here's a side-by-side example of said documentary compared to Blair's video. Watch how she does not change the words.
Professor Freudenberg has long been controversial.
A man named Hugh Freudenberg, a former immunologist who has been long controversial.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit involving the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic child patients with blood products.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit with the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic patients with blood products.
I mean, she could have changed the words just a little bit, but honestly, it's not a big deal, as the whole creator space should be used to spread awareness on greater causes collectively. I think that's like a good way to look at it. Legal Eagle actually said it perfectly in his response to Blair. Hey iilluminaughtii, I think this is a big misunderstanding. Perhaps great minds think alike. No one on my team is trying to copy you. Without an exhaustive review of your channel, I believe we used the two styles before your channel did. We've used them for 3 to 4 years. Plus, the two styles, a pseudo paper rip and a highlight, are extremely common on YouTube. The editor you're talking about didn't even design either of those two elements. Again, we've used them for 3 to 4 years at this point. Danny is a great and thorough editor. When he reached out via email, he was just hoping to find out what plugin your team used on a particular video, a very common practice among editors. He was not looking to copy anyone's style. Danny is also a freelancer who makes his own videos. In the Discord, the video he referenced was about being inspired about your subject matter, not your style. He's a fan of yours. The video, not anymore, honestly. The video he was referencing was a video of his own, not a Legal Eagle video. Here's the end of the Discord chat that Danny provided to me. He was trying to edit a video of his own using the DaVinci Resolve. He was just looking for some technical help, and then thanked everyone anyway. YouTube is great because it's collaborative and the rising tide raises all ships. My team and I always try to provide original, high quality, informative content. We try to help others when they ask for it. There aren't really any trade secrets around here. I didn't know Danny reached out to you, but I don't fault him for doing so. If anything, I think anyone on the platform should be more open in sharing. Anyway, if you feel differently or want to hash it out, my DMs are open. Her response to this was to just delete all her tweets. Shortly after the Legal Eagle situation and her failed attempt to bully a creator her own size, several members of a past group she was a part of called Sad Milk reached out with their experiences about Blair. Each one of the members of Sad Milk came out with their own Twitter threads and their own videos, which I'm going to be putting in the comment section below. You guys should go check out Tamimi's video called The Lies of iilluminaughtii. It actually covers all the threads and she reads it out very thoroughly. The two specific situations I want to talk about involve a member named Click and another member named Wonderstruck. These are terrible situations, and one in particular is super bad. And it shows a strict pattern of behavior. Click announced he was leaving Sad Milk, which is fine. Someone leaving a group because of creative differences, not a big deal at all. Unless, well, one of the members is Blair, and then she's probably going to try to pay people to dig up dirt on you to ruin your entire career.
Digging through my very oldest content looking for dirt. Let's play Minecraft with Crazy Part 2. Minecraft Alpha 1.2.6. Ah, the R word is here. Minecraft Alpha 1.2.6. Jesus Christ, I was a high schooler in like 2010 playing Minecraft for my like 12 followers. Oh. And here's the chat that keeps going. Ever since she made some announcements, some fans are putting it together. While I am mostly the big bad bish, some are figuring it out. Listen, I have click on videos saying the F slur and R slur. He will put himself up with his own ego like I won't have to do anything of that. He's gonna muddy his own hands and unravel it himself. Oh yeah, it's in his old videos. They are still live on his channel. Hobbies are a good way to spend your time? What the hell? And this is her just hyping people up to be more hateful towards me because of my old bad jokes when I was a teenager. So much for this just happening to come out when I left Sad Milk. This, to me, looks like a very planned smear campaign, and she had a very big hand in it. Here is her talking again. I'm a level with y'all here, reading through the things and seeing this person in the chat excusing Click saying the R slur because it was 10 years ago, and it's irrelevant is super yikes to me. Again, I'm the same age as Click, and that word wasn't even in my vocabulary. Not 10 years ago, not now, because it was never appropriate.
The most hypocritical thing about this is, yes, this word was a part of her vocabulary, as can be seen here. Listen, as you know, there are so many things that this creator, Blair, has done, but one of the worst that I feel is when she exposed a personal DM between her and former Sad Milk member Wonderstruck about how he was struggling with ending his life.
What I specifically would like to highlight is that he insinuates that he had intention to and was taking action to arm himself to end his life. In a message directly with me, he explicitly told me that, quote, I was legit trying to get into my dad's gun cabinet to myself. Either way, out of concern, I called the Austin Police Department non-emergency line to ask for a wellness check. And when I explained to the operator what was the situation at hand, they immediately transferred me to the 911 dispatcher. I then read the messages to them, and I gave the 911 operator the last known place of his residence in Texas, which was his dad's house, to perform a wellness check. The operator then told me not to arrange anything unless the police force is present. In his messages, Wonder states that he received a call from his therapist, which ultimately pulled him out of his intended plan.
There was no reason at all for her to use this. This was not supporting evidence of anything. And she exposed this personal DM on her YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. Like every other situation we've talked about in this video, when it comes to Blair, she is absolutely and completely responsible. Here's what Wonder had to say in response to her outing this information.
Blair had taken the car as well as my belongings. My life had been set back to square one, which leads me to my next and most painful section, my mental health, which was proudly put on display for the world to see for some reason. Before I begin, I'd like to not so much trauma dump to a bunch of viewers, but rather give you the full scale of where my mental health arises and such. I feel it is important to share this context not just for me, but truthfully because there are a lot of people out there who remain silent about these kinds of things, and I want them to know they aren't alone. I'd also like to make 2 more notes. First, there's going to be a trigger warning, one involving self-harm, suicide, and child sexual. Another warning, this is probably going to be the section of the video where I don't know how to be very professional in this manner. I feel it is best that I just show you how raw this actually is, because trying to paint it in any other light just doesn't show the extent of how painful this actually is. Now, when I first saw Blair speaking upon my mental health, admittedly, I shut down. I was rightfully broken and disgusted that so many people could see the insight into my mental health. Something very private and a lot of times met with shame. There were so many things I wanted to say when I saw that. So many nasty and vile words of venom I wanted to throw into the void due to this becoming public on Blair's own doing. But it's not Blair's story to tell as to how I got to this point. It's mine.
So I'm not comfortable with sharing Wonder's story because it's his to share. So I'm going to link it in the description below along with all the other links in this video. And I want to give you guys a trigger warning. It does say some things that you might find uncomfortable.
When Blair took the car, I knew I had nothing left but a few clothes on my back, and everyone would soon find out that the person they were so proud of just 2 months prior was back at home and broke. And for me, I couldn't really handle that. I had tried so hard to show every effort that I cared, that I wanted to do a good job, that I wanted to succeed, and it ended up with me having nothing. I truly was a failure now, and nobody could say anything else because I couldn't speak publicly or I'd be threatened with legal action. By this point, my mental health was in a full collapse. Everything was dark, and I felt I had nowhere to go, and that every exit just led to more pain. So while my dad was away, I sat at his kitchen counter, thinking, reviewing my options, whatever that even means, and I chose that I wanted to. So, as Blair showed, I started to look for. Now, I'm not religious by any means. I don't have anything against anyone who is, but sometimes things just work in really weird ways. I got a call from my therapist as I was in the closet looking for a key. I had entirely forgotten that we had scheduled an appointment that day. It wasn't really on my mind. Nothing was really on my mind. I just wanted to stop hurting. I answered and she asked me how my day was going, and I told her, oh, not much, I just want to end my life. And again, I don't mean to laugh, but she said, well, how about we just don't do that and talk? Which was just like, it was so crazy. It's just like, I can't even imagine. I mean, like, I guess they're a therapist, they deal with that, but I can't imagine what it's like. How's your Tuesday afternoon going? Oh, you know. But I listened and we did talk. I walked out into my dad's bedroom and I just cried on the phone for about an hour. And throughout it, I'll never forget what she told me. She said, you feared for the worst, you fought your whole life trying to avoid the worst possible outcome, and now the worst possible outcome has happened, and you're alive. You know, I'm still standing here, man. I personally had never thought of it like that. I truly didn't. So after our calls, I was still in a living hell, but the idea had more or less left my mind.
Now, the crazy thing to me is the fact that she could have really hurt Wonder. She absolutely did not provide enough details to the police so far as we know, and
And so yeah, I did send Blair that heated message because I was at the end of my rope. So when Blair claimed she sent authorities to my house for a wellness check, she didn't care about me. She put in her own Google Drive that I brought the mention of guns to the table and she was locking the cars away and was scared, leaving out that the weapon in reference was aimed towards me. I know I'm supposed to be professional here, but I believe that that text alone only showed she cared about her narrative of herself being a victim. And by showing text with her therapist, she's trying to claim the Good Samaritan card, which is very contradictory given the tones of the perceived messages that I saw. Also, something I'd like to note is that I wasn't there when Blair called 911 to send authorities to my home, but depending on her wording, it could have gone very wrong. To tell authorities there is a mentally unwell man with a weapon, that can go so very bad, so very fast.
And the next thing I want to talk about is her ex-boyfriend. This situation's pretty crazy because he released 2 videos 4 years ago highlighting all of the pattern of behaviors of Blair. So this stuff has always been just in plain sight. But some of the situations that involve him, and yes, this will be linked below, they are really reminiscent of all the other things that we've talked about here. And we're going to start off with some voice recordings that not a lot of people are talking about because I don't think a lot of people know about this.
Look, Blair, I'm just saying that I messaged you one time, okay? Just to clarify that I didn't want a bunch of discussion. All I wanted was a yes or no question answer. That was it. And I feel like I spread out my requests really well. And then like one message after that, you go and you start posting on Twitter, and it just didn't make sense to me.
Where did I say anything?
I don't know why you did that.
After the breakup. Huh? Where did I say anything? The first time I've said something is today.
On Twitter, Blair.
I've said nothing. I have seen your f***ing Twitter and the bullshit you've been spewing on there. So if you want to try me, Josh, okay?
I'm confused because you came to me on Discord about the Liam thing. I immediately got you an answer, and then I asked you a simple yes or no question. Were you talking ill of me to other content creators? I even said I didn't think you were. It was just...
The answer is no.
I don't understand.
But now
it's dodged it.
Now it might change to a yes because now I'm going to have to protect my ass because you want to come at me sideways.
And you know, I do just want to say that it is kind of funny that you accused me of wanting to do it for money and that I didn't really like the content, and then here you are saying that you're bored and trapped by the content you make. It's
about the boredom, you asshat.
Look, Blair, I'm not saying that I was angry about the breakup, okay? I'm not. I think that it was good for both of us. What I'm saying is that I was angry about the fact that you were the one who proposed a collaboration, and then as soon as I was ready and put all this effort into it, you just kind of shut me down. And in one night, you just went through so many insecurities and told me streaming wasn't going to work, and then in the same night also shut down the collaboration, which was something that was supposed to help us both. It just seemed...
So it had nothing to do with the fact that I go, oh, I'm moving, I'm busy, I'm doing shit every single day. The only thing you had to ask me is, when are we collabing? When are we collabing? When are we collabing? And it's like, oh, you're treating me like a fan, Blair. I'm like, well, perhaps, Josh, you should have stopped acting like one.
You want to say you don't attack me, but then you straight up cook and call me a liar over things that you are no 100% true in Misery Box's server. And then you come at me with the threat of legal action over, again, things that are 100% completely true. I'm sorry if you don't want them discussed, but I am tired of having you slander my name. I'm done with it. I'm done with you.
Because God knows why, because you're bitter about a breakup because your cash cow left you. Like, off, Josh.
Now, it's interesting. Did you hear him say that she was threatening him with a lawsuit? She's got a habit of that. She's currently on a rampage, threatening lawsuits against everybody. And again, I'm going to say this again. I said it at the beginning of the video, but all this is just allegations. I got to say that. Now, what he's talking about in this specific situation is she asked him for a collab. Here's the DM. He says, I love you. She says, I love you too. She says, also, babe, I want to collab with you. He says, I'd love that. Maybe a video game or memes or something. And then if you'll notice back in the recording, she got mad at him for him asking a couple times about the collaboration.
When iilluminaughtii first began her rise in YouTube, it was fueled in great part by Reddit-based content, which, while temporarily lucrative, was not her end goal. Commentary is and has always been her passion, but this is an infinitely competitive person we're talking about, and she wanted to dominate the space while it was hers. An early friendship with Fresh helped mold her content, but also led her to believe that anyone else utilizing that general framework was a copycat. I listened to endless rants about Misery Box, deservedly, Bumfreeze, and even Voicey here, being nothing more than mediocre mimics of herself and Fresh. Which leads us to the original step she took into the commentary community, her call-out video against r/.
Before we get into the r/ situation, I do want to preface this by saying, you heard him say that he had conversations with her, specifically talking about how she was saying that all these people were copycats, and this is really reminiscent of the Cruel World Happy Mind situation. It's really reminiscent of a lot of the stories we've already talked about, backing up and clarifying these situations.
Her call-out video against r/, claiming that he was using viewbots. What fueled this was her anger at being so quickly outpaced by another channel. The others were merely nipping at her heels or falling behind, but r/, well, he was rocketing past, and her statements regarding his content were even more scathing. Eventually, she utilized information and statistics provided by a larger YouTuber to create the video that many still remember. A video taken down not because she believed she was wrong ever, but taken down because she saw it negatively affecting her subscriber count.
I'm going to show you a clip from the past where Tommy C actually talks about when Blair reached out to him and had a conversation about r/. I believe it's going to verify some really important things.
Look like the typical Game of Thrones playing backstabbing YouTuber that you became kind of right on before our eyes. I mean, Blair is, I often wondered why she kind of hung around us when she hit it big, because I expected her to move on. I mean, geez, you got to move on, meet new people. But she came back with the most bizarre stuff. She had her want us to go up against her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend. And then there was the r/ incident where she confided in Nick and I and told us that this guy had swatted her and her family, one of the two, I forget. And then she went on this big, long escapade how she was scared, and this guy knew hackers, and he was all tied up in YouTube. And it was just a really strange story. And I remember me and Nick said to her, well, the only thing we can do is go public with it. And then she kind of strangely said, well, I don't want my parents to get swatted. I can't handle that. So I go, like, why are we talking then? I guess this conversation never happened, because if these are, I said to her, I go, these are serious allegations you're making against this r/ guy. Because the first time her and Nick made a video on r/, and it did not go over well. It kind of, the Reddit community kind of took it like, well, they took it like that she was just jealous that somebody was outgrowing her because she was one of the hottest Reddit YouTubers on the platform. And I started to wonder, because this story was just off the wall bizarre.
Yeah, it was crazy.
She made it up.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get Nick, and because Nick and I and any of the rest of the Shot from the Point team would have just, we would have raised hell if anybody was screwing with her. And when the question came, like, okay, are we going public? We're going, use our contacts. This is awful. We're getting the police involved. No. You just told me this guy's like seriously harassing you. And now apparently they have a great relationship, I'm told. So that's the first time I saw a really weird side of Blair.
You're not going to believe how crazy this is about to get.
Weeks after this, though, conversations would revolve exclusively around her plans to continue her campaign against r/, from encouraging smaller channels to, and I quote, continue the effort against him, to creating an entirely different channel, purchasing her own bots, and show that the growth patterns matched, ultimately looking to spend around $4,000 on that endeavor. An idea that I thankfully talked her out of. I expressed a general belief that she had become obsessed over the situation and really needed to let it go, that r/ wasn't responsible for the worst aspects of his community.
I just can't even put that, my brain cannot concept that. The level of competitiveness that she has within herself in regards to lack of empathy is beyond words. Just read this. She passed somebody in subscribers here and said success, and then said this. He goes on to talk about how all this pressure was making him feel like he wanted to end his own life. And I can't help but put connection to the strenuous situations involving Wonder and his own feelings of wanting to end his own life. And it came with the involvement of Blair.
3 months ago, I came very close to ending it all at a dark time. Over the insecurities that I would always be a burden on those that I loved, and that I would never be good enough. A week before she ended things officially, we had a conversation
every single day. The only thing you had to ask me is, when are we collabing? When are we collabing? When are we collabing? And it's like, oh, you're treating me like a fan, Blair. I'm like, well, perhaps, Josh, you should have stopped acting like one.
After she had ignored my inquiries about what she thought of my videos, and 2 questions about when a collaboration might occur, she informed me that she believed I would always be a financial burden, and that she could not accept mediocrity in her life. While in the same conversation stating that I was only pursuing Reddit for the money, and that I was stealing her style by using an avatar in my videos, and that we should just leave YouTube out of the relationship entirely from now on. I suggested she take a week to herself, because I genuinely felt she was exhibiting behavior indicative of wanting to end the relationship, and I admit that I was extremely hurt by her statements.
That's absolutely disgusting, and honestly, it borderlines verbal abuse towards a partner. And I can't see that any other way. I've been asked a lot about if I think Illuminaughtii is Creepshow Art 2.0. And personally, for me, the answer is no. I really do think this is subjective, mainly because Creepshow at one point in time was someone who I considered a friend. I confided in her and shared personal things. When it came out who she really was and what she was really up to, it didn't feel good. So asking her former internet friends if they think Illuminaughtii is Creepshow Art 2.0 is probably not the best thing to do. That being said, there are quite a few similarities with alt accounts and friend betrayal, etc. I think as the days go and more is uncovered, the scope of all the things Illuminaughtii has done is way bigger. That is not to take away from the pain that Creepshow Art has caused people, it's just to say that it's probably not comparable, and better to say that they are each in a league of their own. Like I said, there's much more that Blair did to these guys. I'm going to be putting all their Twitter threads and videos in the description below so you guys can check it out. And as interesting as this is, always something more interests me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So would you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up, photos, likes as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who's donated in the charity. As you can see to the right on desktop, below on mobile, we are helping children in difficult situations. We've already met our goal, but we're going to keep going to see if we can get it closer to $5,000 before the end of the year is over. And another thanks to Scentbird for sponsoring the video. That being said, I'd also like to thank my patrons. I appreciate you guys' continued ongoing support. If you want to support what I do here and get your name at the end of my videos and call out terrible people like Illuminaughtii, then I'll put the link to that also in the pinned comment. Check it out, see if it's something for you. Also, if you're a new subscriber, let me know in the comment section below. That's just another way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're getting how you do that. I'll get a subscribe notification turned on, be in the comment section of every single video because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there in spirit, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well. And I expect to see you there too because this channel loves you.